Hello, Guru Nation. Welcome back. I'm here with world famous Claire,
Hey.
study coordinator, world famous Latinos in Clinical Research co founder, PI extraordinaire, community oncologist, Dr. Al Jazali. Chris likes him. He's over there eating. So, one of the things that makes oncology study difficult is the constant SAE.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you have been working on an SAE follow up for 3 months, right?
For one patient.
Can you tell us what is taking so long? Because people here don't understand. They're not oncology coordinator. Can you share? And then we get Dr. Al opinion as well.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, we have to get the correct terms for the report. It has to be exactly what's reported in the ED notes. If the patient was brought to the emergency department, it has to be exactly the same term in the report and the dates as well.
And you guys now you're gonna get busy. Chris and I got another oncology study two for you guys potentially. We can't say who, but you guys are gonna be busy. So what do you feel about? First of all, Dr. Al, what do you think about SAEs in oncology?
SAE in oncology is very, as they say, very meticulous because it's related to the patient side effect of the new treatment. And you have to report everything.
And it's very common, right?
And of course, it's a new medication for patients who have malignancy or cancer. And whatever happening there, you need to report it directly. Okay, and anything can happen, from hospitalization to go to visit to the ER to side effect while he's getting the treatment. So that's why it is very distinct type of side effect than other than in psychiatry or neurology. Patient take the pills, goes home, and come after a couple of days, and if they have anything, they report it like this. But for us in oncology, it is very meticulous, and the coordinator, they work very hard. In other studies, like usually you have like one coordinator for 3 to 4 studies. In oncology, if it is very difficult, like we have couple of 2 studies that's very difficult. Other than this Korean study, we have other couple of 2, which is requirement to enroll.
Soon to be more. Soon to be 2 more.
Yep.
What about diversity? What do you think about diversity in oncology? Are minorities well represented or not across all study in oncology?
In general, minority is not well represented. Okay.
Why?
In general,
Why?
There is a cultural stuff from minority themselves. As a minority, there is some kind of social imprinting or social stigma about the minority,
But at CRI, that's not the case.
No.
Why?
We don't have this
Why?
because we have our locations here in Huntington Park, and part of being a part of the complete care, we have a big diversity of population. We have like 13 clinic all over Los Angeles, and there is like population from white to African American to
Asian.
Spanish and Asian. We have most of the population around in LA, and LA is the melting pot of United States.
Melting pot.
The biggest diversity population, I think, it's here in LA.
Last thing, Claire, ICF reconsent, process of consent. So in most studies, the informed consent, the protocol gets amended at least 2 or 3 times on average. So every time patients who are still active need to sign the new. Can you walk us through, both of you guys actually, it's very rare we have a PIN coordinator, walk us through, I'm going to give you the mic, process of consent, just really quick for the people learning at home.
So if we get an updated updated IRB approved informed consent form, then we consent the patient. We do have the process of informed consent form, just like how you present the CA Bill of Rights, and then you present the informed consent form. You conduct the ICF process inside the private room, and it gets like more.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's
You have a
just part of it.
checklist.
Yes.
Claire has a checklist.
Of course. In all studies, like Claire is very good in making checklists for the study.
Oh yeah.
Starting from 0 till until enrolling the patient.
Yep.
And after enrolling the patient, also a checklist for side effect and all these things.
I noticed that.
Very meticulous about these things, which is like make her very successful in her job and her career.
Okay, so we talked about SAEs, we talked about informed consent. One of the common things in oncology study I've noticed in the few years I've been monitoring oncology is the ANC. When that gets low because of chemo, you've got to stop the med, readjust it, right? How do you keep track of this? Like, what's going on in all this?
Usually, like the patients who get chemotherapy, we check their CBC on a weekly basis, whether the complete blood count, to measure the side effect of the chemotherapy, because some chemotherapy can cause low ANC, some of them will cause
So
low
blood test
hemoglobin.
before treatment.
Exactly, 100% for each patient. Before we treat, we need to do within 24 hours, maximum 48 hours, a new blood test.
How do you get compliance from the patient? Because that has to be consistent.
You
right?
know, some of the patient they come to the office, we draw them, we send it to the lab downstairs. Some of the patient, in the old day, I used to have a CBC in my office. I used to run it for the patient, and so it would not delay. But now, because of the HMOs and all these things, and we run it through the hospital lab or through special lab in LabCorp or Quest or like this as
Yeah.
a stat order.
I saw
Which
we
is
have
we get
like
it like within
a
couple
few
of
labs.
an
We have a
hour.
few labs on the
Yeah,
on this
1
study.
hour or 2 hours we get the results, and then we'll decide about the patient to be treated or not to be treated.
So you have multiple labs because it makes compliance easier. Like you go to this lab, you go to this one if you can.
Especially with the era of HMO now, it is very difficult to keep up with which insurance, which lab, because if we use the different lab than the insurance would approve, then the patient stuck with the bill for the lab and like this.
That's
So we have
right.
to be careful. It is a more complicated process than before.
Because in oncology, that's true. Because in oncology, the labs are considered standard of care, so it's not necessarily reimbursed all the time by the sponsor. It's usually going to be patients' insurance, right, taking care of it. I see. That's what makes oncology
we
different.
try to have like in most of the study that where they offer us the standard of care, we try to convert it to be billable in
Yes,
case we didn't
yes.
get paid by the insurance. At least the
Yeah.
patient does not have the burden, so we can build the sponsor and take over the.
Makes sense.
Yeah, because I don't think the patient with his diagnosis and treatment and everything have to suffer on top of this financial
Yeah.
burden, whatever small it is.
Yeah, and I know Congress was doing a few things for the last years to try to fix that for clinical research. Nothing yet. All right. Well, there you guys go. Dr. Al Jazirely, Claire from CRI. Thank you guys very much. Thank you, everybody, for watching
you,
and
Dan.
listening. Catch y'all later. Bye-bye.
Thank you.